I've made it to 7 days without any weed. And that's pretty exciting stuff, considering it's taken me a long time to get to this point, and actually stick with it. So I'm pretty proud of myself, feeling pretty good in the neighborhood, and also working on clearing my mind, and obviously all the soul soothing work that I've been doing, which is good. Self-love, practicing gratitude. That's one of the highest vibrations you can practice is gratitude. So if you haven't begun practicing gratitude, I would urge you to consider it, or at least research the benefits of it, because it's fantastic. Now that I've come this far, I've realized exactly how much there was that I needed to work on. I had no idea, a younger version of myself. I mean, hell, even 5 months ago, I had no idea how much work I needed to do. But, as you work on your inner self and you do that inner healing, and you raise your vibration and you get further along in the growth pattern, things become so much more clear. So clear, in fact, it begins to all seem like magic. Before I began to really actually implement self-love work, gratitude work, and everything along those lines, I struggled to quit weed. I've quit weed before. I quit weed for I don't even know, it was like half a year or a full year, I think, with like little speckles of smoking in there, but it was not like all the time. It was not like it has been recently, but ever since COVID began, all that shit changed, I had fear in the pit of my soul, and as a man, you don't want to admit that. You want to stand proud, stand tall, be a strong man. But I was not that. I'm more strong now than I've ever been, but it's because I went on the inside. That's some of the hardest work that anybody can do, and it's necessary work. If we haven't done that work, then we're just a product of our environment over the course of life. There's no refuting that. If we haven't done that inner work, if we don't practice gratitude, if we don't practice self-love, inner narrative, speaking positively to ourselves, it's in all the books. It's been in the books for a fucking long time. There's so many people that just go their entire life, and they have so much unhealed trauma from the past that they just bury and cover up with staying busy, and they build themselves up with this shield or a mask, if you want to call it that. And in essence, it protects them from the outside world. This character that they've created, that we've all created, also known as the ego, or at least they tie in together. If you're a man and you haven't done the inner healing, the inner self-work, when you're around other men, it's almost like you have this underground innate desire to peacock, to be a man. You don't want to look weak. Most men, and plenty of women for that matter, I'm sure, I just think that the scale's probably tipped more to men, would rather do damn near anything than cry in public or cry around other people. And that there's fear in that. There's fear, which is ironic because it's like you want to be manly, but in reality, it's being fearful of how people will view you. That's the core root of the thing. Please, if you disagree, comment below. But yeah, you don't want to cry. We don't want to cry in front of people because, oh shit, they're going to think I'm fucking weird and blah, blah, blah. What's the fucking reason? Who gives a fuck what they think, And plenty of people will say, I don't care what anybody thinks. It's like, yeah, well, apparently you do. It looks like you do. I'm not saying that I've mastered that yet, but I'm fucking definitely working on it. And I'm seeing a lot of improvement. I know I'm going off tangent here. The point is I've quit weed. 7 days into quitting weed. But I just can't stress enough. If you want to quit anything, you got to do the work on the inside. I don't know if I'm supposed to start saying like I'm not a doctor on my videos when I talk about this sort of stuff, but in reality, you don't fucking need a doctor to do the research and see the benefits of doing the inner work. It's changed my life. You know, on that note, I'm actually quitting cigarettes now. I'm actually fucking doing it, you know, and same thing as before, you know, you don't gotta believe it, but I appreciate anybody that's along this journey because this shit's turning into magic, you know. But on that note, I'm also turning into a bit of a hippie, right? Can you check out this? I already showed this. I don't know if I've already showed that. But I'm turning into a bit of a hippie. And it's cool, man. I love it. Like this sort of stuff, man. These big ass trees out here now. These big ass trees out here. I'm sure plenty of you know that trees across the world communicate with each other underground. If you look up that stuff, like that's just super cool. I'm not going to sit here and regurgitate it because I probably wouldn't paraphrase it properly, but if you just do a YouTube search for how do trees communicate and look into that shit, like everything on this planet is fucking energy. Everything is energy. It's all connected. And science has shown the connection between everything and the frequencies and all that stuff. It's on us to fill in the blanks. Sorry, that's that woo-woo shit, but I say that to say that I started like hugging these motherfuckers, man. I know I sound like a nut. I know I do. An older version of myself might be like, what's wrong? That's me in the future? No. Not feel, no siree. But I'm dissolving that ego. The reality is the more we dissolve the ego and the more we work on our inner peace and our inner narrative and our inner dialogue and looking at the world in a positive light instead of a negative light, the more we avoid news and social media and use your phone only for purpose to create or to learn, the more we do these things, it's inevitable the more we grow and the more peace we have. I know it's leaning on the spiritual stuff, but a lot of this is rooted in science. But I'll get off my soapbox. I just wanted to share my accomplishment. I'm feeling fantastic. And obviously I think that resonates through the camera. And you're going to keep seeing a lot more of me because this train going to keep going chew, motherfucking chew, y'all.
Just you white in me again. Just you white. You're